Greetings, sports fans. ASMR Sports here. I hope everybody is doing well, enjoying their summer. It's been quite a while since I've recorded a video, and I've actually been sort of telling myself, figure I better get something in the foreground here, that I kind of want to do it like, I want to, what do they call it? I want to like bring it on back to kind of the old days of my channel, where I did two things. Posted all the freaking time, because I was doing like, stuff that didn't cost any money. It was like, late 80s wax packs that, were worth 2 cents. I was happy to open that stuff, and I've still got, a fair amount of that stuff, so I'm happy to do that and to kind of talk about stuff that comes out of those packs. I forget what the list I'm making here is, but I want to do, kind of like cheaper stuff, and I want to do, more frequent stuff is my point. So I will try to do that. I also have some ideas for some things that aren't really opening packs of cards. I'll try to get those out there too, and just kind of, mix it up a little bit, and kind of go old school in a way. So hopefully y'all enjoy that. I think one of the things I was gonna say is I used to like record like 2 or 3 videos in a sitting, and then I would just release them daily. I'm gonna try to do that too, which when I'm doing kind of like lower end or older stuff, it makes it possible to do that. If I'm doing a box of Prism, I can't really do that. So I'm gonna try to do like more frequent postings if it's okay with y'all. So there we go. All right. Well, I think the last video I posted was of these guys. Those are the volume 1 of the baseball Hundo box. That's a bunch of packs, namely all of these, for $100. That's a pretty good discount off of what you'd pay at like Blowout or Dave & Adams for these packs. So if you're interested in, these are kind of the more interesting ones. The 2020 Bowman, you can pull Jason Dominguez, and the 2019 Topps Finest, you can get Tatis and Guerrero rookie cards out of there. So some fun stuff in here, and then a bunch of stuff from kind of current year, 2021 and 2020. That's a 2021 Series 2, which I haven't even opened any of that yet, and the hobby box that I got, I just used for this product, so I won't be opening any of that. I do have a jumbo box of that stuff too, so I guess that's always possible. Alright, well, not too long ago, it was Father's Day, and as you may know, if you watch this channel, I am a father. And so my kids and my partner got me a few things, but one of them, which I was most excited about, was this guy. And if you're a big collector, you're kind of looking at this and going, "Oh man, that's some pretty like, how shall we say, inexpensive junk wax right there." And it is, but honestly, anytime I get cards like, that I wasn't expecting or out of the blue or that somebody else picked out, I'm usually pretty excited about it. A lot of times, like one of my girls, back when they used to go to stores, which they haven't done in a while, they would like buy, packs of flagship Topps cards for me, with their little money that they brought to the store, and honestly, that's one of the greatest things ever. Even though I would probably never buy those cards on my own, but I don't know, somehow getting stuff for like free from a loved one is just makes it like really interesting to see what you get out of there. And You know, these are all packs I have not opened in forever. So I'm happy to have them. So yeah, that's what today's video is. I hope the audio will be okay. I have not really. I'm gonna check all the cables. Okay. So yeah, we'll see the last recording I did, and it was just like one of the chunks of that video. I recorded in 3 different chunks, and it was just the first one I think that had problems. So I'm hoping that was just something where I didn't have the camera quite plugged in, or my phone quite plugged into the cable well enough, and it was creating issues. No idea where it came from. I asked my my girlfriend slash fiance where she got it, and she said she didn't want to tell me because it would ruin the surprise. So that's kind of interesting. I would guess like eBay or something, but I don't know. Theoretically, could have gotten these locally. Like a lot of times you see stuff like this, antique markets or what have you. So let's just go through what we got here. 91 Score Baseball, Series 1. Gosh, I'm not sure. I think there might be 1 or 2 good rookies in there. I know that like 91 Bowman has a bunch of really good rookies like Chipper Jones and maybe like Luis Gonzalez and maybe 1 or 2 more. But that's also like kind of a, you know, prospect heavy list or set. So Series 1 Score, rookies in there. Might have been in Series 2. Alright, this is Donruss 1991, I believe. Yeah, 91, so same year as Score, and it's Series 1, so might be the same issue. There might be like just one of the good players from that class. Here's 88 Donruss Baseball. I've actually sold a fair number of my wax boxes that I think you can still get on my hotcardboard.com site. Wow, I'm hearing like some like vibration kind of noises in my monitor. I think it's street construction right on my street, and man, you should see the machinery they got to do this stuff. Basically, they like take this gigantic truck over the street, and it like takes off like maybe, I don't know, 3 inches of like cement and asphalt, and just like throws it away, and they have a dump truck that goes ahead of it and it shoots it in there. And then I think they're just going to lay down a bunch of you know, hot tar or asphalt to kind of redo the surface. Alright, so this is 88 Donruss Baseball. This is kind of a fun set, so I've sold a bunch of this in complete boxes. Actually, I opened I had a bunch of spare boxes, and I kept selling these, and I had to crack into a sealed case I had of it, and those boxes are super crispy. But I've not opened anything out of it, so it's kind of fun to have something to open. Actually, some decent stuff in here. You get Tom Glavine rookie cards. He's a Hall of Famer. You can get Mark Grace rookie cards. I believe Roberto Alomar rookie cards are in here. He's a Hall of Famer as well. So, you know, some decent things. They're not really worth anything unless they're really pristine and you get them graded well. 1990 Fleer Baseball. This has second year Ken Griffey Jr. I actually know this set list a lot better than I know. Well, these were 91, I guess. So 1990. I mean, Juan Gonzalez rookie cards, but those aren't really worth anything. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it. 91. Boy, there's a lot of 91 in here, isn't there? So this is second series, so this might have a decent rookie or 2 in it. 92 Donruss. I think like this was something that there was, so you can get elite cards, which are cool. And I think there's like, theoretically, there's autograph cards in here, but it's probably like 1 in 8 bajillion packs. Let me cards. Oh, actually, look at this. 5,000 personally autographed. Cal Ripken Signature Series 7,500. Commission portrait cards in the Legend Series, Elite Series. Those are subsets. 10,000 cards each. So you're like, oh, that's a lot of cards. But the thing is, they made so many freaking like cases of this product that your odds of getting any of those cards is like ridiculously low. And if I got one, I'd be shocked out of my gourd. 1992 Upper Deck. Not sure who would be in here, but there might be somebody. So I'm going to kind of rank these in order of it's funny. I think they're kind of like, no, I wouldn't say that's better than that. That's kind of how I would rank them in terms of like potential for things inside. 1991's funny, 1 year. This was like probably, I don't know, 10 or more years ago. My sister, who's 2 years older than me, sent me a nice gift, birthday gift in the mail. And, she knows I collect baseball cards. I collected all through my childhood when, we lived in the same house. And she decided to go get me some baseball cards. So she ended up getting like a 91 score complete set, like a factory set. And I think I pulled a couple cards out of there and ended up like throwing a bunch of it away when I moved one time. Oh, that's a nice Cal Ripken Jr. Take that out. Here we're gonna get some rookie prospect cards, maybe a draft pick. Wow, how old is this guy? Anybody with like these glasses and a mustache looks like 35 to me. So let's see, he came out in 91. So he wasn't actually even 30 yet. He would be 30 in 1993, so he'd be like 28. That's funny, they don't make 28-year-olds that look like that anymore, do they? Sean Abner, I remember he was like a first-round draft pick. He had like a draft pick card, I think in 89 tops. Brad Cummins, didn't hear much about him. Larry Walker, of course, very good player. Mitch Williams, Greg Cadaret, Jeff Robbins, a couple of Yankee pitchers right there, and Hall of Famer John Smoltz, very nice. Keep our comments over there. Alright, here we go, 1991 Donruss, Series 1. They really sealed these things well back in the day. At least for this year, I think 1990 was not that tight of a seal. Must have upgraded their wax technology. Look at that, Ken Griffey Jr. All-Star card. Derek Bell rookie card. He actually, I think he wasn't he like a manager? He had a pretty good long history in baseball. And he did have a pretty good career as a player. Well, it's funny, that's like one of those, remember when you get rated rookies and you look on the back and there's no major league record, you're like, oh man, that's fantastic, because he's a prospect and he's probably gonna not have a card in anything else but Donruss if you see that. So pretty cool. I'm actually gonna pull Derek Bell out of there, why not? Pretty sure he was on some World Series championship teams too. Wow, Tommy Glavine, nice Hall of Famer. So these packs are pretty good. I mean, just in terms of player quality, of course, these cards are not worth anything. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but I can definitely hear it in my monitor. The beeping that these trucks outside are making. Hopefully it's not too bothersome, because they're going to be there for a while, and I'm probably going to try to do some videos in the next day or two when they'll be working. So Ben McDonald, this card back in 1990 was like butter. I mean, he was like the number one pick, I think. Doesn't say anything about the draft, but I'm pretty sure he was like in the top like 3 or so. And everybody's like, oh man, we got to get this guy. Actually, I might be thinking of 89 cards, but this is a rookie. Well, let's see. He did pitch in '89, so he was one of these guys that came like basically straight from being drafted to the majors with a quick stop there in Frederick, which I think is Fredericksburg, maybe. I think that's an abbreviation. But yeah, he was a super like big deal. Go for some grape bubble. I think it was like 1990 cards that were his rookies. Roberto Kelly. I think I really kind of liked him when he was coming up. He's got rookie cards actually in this '88 Donruss, and he was a pretty good young player, but didn't end up staying in the Yankees for too long. And I feel like, was it either him or Hensley Meulens that ended up being like a batting coach or a bench coach for the Giants, San Francisco Giants. Kevin Brown was a really good player. Wow, look at that, another Schmaltz. Superstar Specials, Boston Igniters, Wade Boggs, and Mike Greenwell. Boy, Mike Greenwell was crazy good for a few years there. Doc Gooden, former Yankee. Man, I remember the first year I ever really bought any cards. I was pretty young. It was 1986, and boy, there was nobody hotter than Dwight Gooden. Man, alive, did people want his cards? His rookie cards were just completely ridiculous, at least for me at that time. Like, worth all that much. I mean, maybe they were going for like $20 or something. Now, cards selling for $4 million or whatever it is. But boy, I remember Doc Gooden was the guy. Him and Pete Rose, because that was like around the time. Actually, I think it was '85 that Pete Rose set the record for all-time number of career hits, which was like a huge deal. And then he was still playing in '86. I think that was the first year he was like player manager, which he did for a few years until he got busted gambling. So that brings back some memories, folks. Alright, let's do this '88 Donruss. See, that's a lot easier to open. John Farrell. Gosh, he's like still like active today in coaching. I think I'm pretty sure he's like a manager relatively recently. Can't remember for who though. Back in the day. Jeffrey Leonard, big power hitter. Dave Winfield. Getting some pretty good players, I gotta say, out of here. Damon Berryhill, that's like, I think that's kind of a rookie. I feel like he did have a card that was earlier in something. Frank Viola. Frankie V. This guy was a legend for me growing up because the Twins, won their first World Series in 1987. And he was the ace of that pitching staff. Sweet Music, I think they called him. Originally from Hempstead, New York, interestingly. He played for quite a few teams after the Twins, but never put up Hall of Fame numbers. And I think he was, I think he was still on the Twins when they went to the World Series again in 1991. Never to be heard from again. like every year they run into the Yankees in the playoffs, and sometimes it's one of those one game, wild card games. Sometimes it's, a series, and they've just never gotten past the Yankees when they've met them. Of course, the Yankees, playing like absolute trash right now, but the Twins are doing even worse. There's Ramon Martinez, the older brother of Pedro Martinez. I remember, when he was like super hot in '89, everybody wanted his rookie cards. And I remember like reading an interview of him, in the Sporting News or something like that, back where we got our information before the internet. And, he was saying, God, boy, look at his fingers. They're just stupid long. Wow. But I remember him, so people were like, oh man, it's like the greatest young pitcher in the game right now. And he was like telling people, I have a younger brother and he's like way better than me. And we were like, oh man, really? That's just an older brother being nice. Sure enough, Pedro Martinez, dominant pitcher for a good number of years. Now a Hall of Famer. Brady Anderson, former Red Sox. And he tops traded his rookie card. He was a pretty big splash when he first hit the hobby. Mike Sharperson. Randy Velarde. Ooh, I thought that was Ken Griffey Jr. Dang. Yeah, so at this time, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. were playing on the same team. Photo was from 1990, of course. But Casey Kendall, Jerry Don Gleaton. I have to tell you guys something, because opening the Stadium Club reminds me of it. But the other day I went on a bike ride to my local Walmart. It's funny because I haven't really been in a Walmart or really any other kind of store like that for like ever, like basically since the pandemic started. But also because like, I order all my groceries now. I think even if I felt totally awesome about going into any store, I would order groceries most frequently because it's just way more convenient for me. But also there's no baseball cards to be had in any of these stores now. That would be the one reason to go to a store, because you can't order, stuff like that through the online thing, because it's just such a, it goes rapidly out of stock and it's hard to inventory and blah blah blah. But anyway, so I went to this Walmart and it was the first time I'd been in a store that had cards, in whatever it is, a year or so. And I guess over a year, because this all started in March 2020. Another Casey Kendall. So I was really curious to see like what I would find. Well, the card section that was there, back when I used to go to that store, was completely gone. It was replaced by something else. And I know at another Walmart that I haven't been to, but somebody I know has been to, they basically are running those operation where it's like you gotta go to the customer service. Wow, I just heard a big vibration. It's definitely a truck. So I was wondering if that was what it was, but I kind of cruised by customer service and I didn't really see anything that would suggest they had cards there. So I don't know, I just went poking around, and sure enough, like at one of the kind of checkout lanes, there was like an area behind it where they had like cigarettes and they had cards. They had Pokemon cards, and they actually had more than I would have expected. Nothing like great, but they had like Prism football draft picks. I don't know if that's worth anything. It probably is a little bit, maybe, but not a ton. And they had blasters of 2021 Stadium Club baseball, and they had boxes of Panini Contenders draft football, and they had fat packs of 2021 score. So and they had a ton of Pokemon stuff too, which I think is generally sold out wherever you go that has it. But I don't know, there was like nobody at this checkout. It was just like a checkout, and then it had like sort of a glassed in area behind it. So you couldn't like reach in. And I don't know, I just didn't really want to like deal with like trying to get them to get stuff for me, so I just sort of left and thought, I don't know, if there was stuff that I thought was definitely awesome to get, I would probably harass them and get it. But so anyways, long story short is I went to a store and there was actually cards, you could buy, and I might go do that so I can open up stuff for this channel, and spend $20 on it instead of $2,000. All right, Bernie Williams. He was my favorite Yankee back when he was playing in the 90s. This is actually like, it's funny, he's only got one season stats on here, but his rookies were from 1990. When he would not have had any stats on the card. So this is not a rookie, but theoretically could have been in another universe. And it's kind of cool because it's a card I've never seen before. It's sort of a weird thing where the bat's like behind him. He's just throwing it. He's got a weird expression on his face. But I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. Sandy Alomar Jr. is actually his full name. Really good player. He had a really long career. Juan Samuel also had a very long career. Andy Van Slyke. Tom Gordon was a really great pitcher for a good number of years. He was a starter and then ended up in the as kind of one of the like core guys for a bunch of their championship teams. It was him and who was the setup guy for Mariano in the early years? I forget his name. John Wetland, I think, was the guy. But Tom Gordon was right in that crew and had a good few years with the Yankees as a really dominant reliever. Nice, another Winfield. Look at that, back-to-back Winfields on that stack right there. Rod Dibble, Robin Ventura, and another Casey Kendall. Wow. Here we are, folks, 27 minutes later. We're at the last pack of the night. And it's kind of a mysterious one. I'm not really sure who's in 92 stuff. But let's do it. Man, look at that Beatel. Hopefully it's just the top card. No, it's lots of them. Jeff Fassero. Bobby Witt, his son Bobby Witt Jr. is presently one of the top prospects in the game. Alright, here's our prospects. Rondell White. Tyler Green, I remember him from back in the day. Terry Kennedy. Alex Cole. Looking like Willie Mays Hayes out there. Oral Hershiser. He was another guy who, like, I feel like is on kind of the cusp of Hall of Fame, even though he's not going to get in. But he's a guy that has had like just absolutely dominant periods of his career. We should be able to see him here. Like 89 was when he set like a record for most number of scoreless innings in a row. Now he was 15-15 with a 2.31 ERA. That tells you that the Dodgers were not very helpful to him in 1989. What was that? Was that 80? I think that was 88 when Kirk Gibson hit that home run to get the Dodgers like into the next round of the playoffs. But they didn't win any World Series in that time frame, so I think they might have been a kind of crappy team back then. I didn't really follow the Dodgers, I'm not sure. Apologies to you Dodgers fans for not knowing that history. Todd Froworth looks like a side armor there. Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. Tom Candiotti. Man, I'm sure you can hear that. I can hear it a bit more because like I can freaking feel like the table vibrating from the construction going on. Chris Nebels, and the last card is Alejandro Pena. So yeah, we didn't get anything like too crazy. We got some nice Hall of Fame cards for sure. So that's always good. Take a little recap here. Check out our Father's Day bounty. Dave Winfield, 91. Dave Winfield, 88. John Smoltz, 1990. Tom Glavine, 91. Derek Bell, 91 rookie card. Ken Griffey Jr. All-Star, John Smoltz. And Cal Ripken Jr. to end it off. So actually noticed that we got quite a few like multiples of the same guy. Okay, just Schmaltz and Winfield, but that's kind of crazy. I think the odds of that are pretty low given the size of these sets and the fact that we only get one pack from each set. So, kind of fun there. Alright, well, thanks so much. A belated Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Thanks so much for watching. We will catch you. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? There's a plane, boy. There's a lot of noises where I'm sitting. I think I'm going to open these. These were some of the box toppers from those boxes I opened to make the Hondo boxes. And everything that you did not see before you was given away to somebody who bought one. Okay, Charlie Fox, manager card. Not too great there. This is kind of interesting. Decade's best. So this is a silver pack from, I don't know what, 2020 Topps. Either 2020 Topps Series 1 or Series 2. I don't know which, but I feel like most of the silver packs you get out of whatever this came out of are not like this Decade's best. Instead, they're the 85 design, like Mojo refractor cards. So I think this might be a bit more rare. Alright, here we go. White Wilhelm and a Boston Red Sox cards. Wow, I really struck out on that, unfortunately. I don't really care for either of these. But, oh well. Now we don't have to wonder what's in those packs, guys. Alright, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you all later. Have a great one now. Bye.